want an input button. Okay, enter the test marks using an input dialog box for each of the students. So again, if you can visualize it, it just helps so much. So there's my array. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's student 1, student 2, 3, 4, and 5. And this is test 1, test 2, and test 3. Okay, now the question is, how do I go about inputting this? So for me, I would ask myself, do I need to go to each cell in the array? And the answer is yes. Therefore, the rule is for R, assign the value 1 to 5, do begin. For C, assign the value 1 to 4, do begin. Okay, and because of the way the loops are structured, what the point I was trying to make earlier on, if you structure your loops in this way, they automatically take you. It's designed to automatically take you to each position in the 2D array. That is why I talk about the rule. It takes you to each position in the array. And now, what did we say the array was called? ARR marks. RC. The RC will take me to each of the values. It's of type integer, so we're using an input dialog box. So we're going to do a string to int. String to int, and then I'm going to go input box. That has 3 parameters. The first parameter, I'm going to say input. The second parameter, I'm going to say enter. You can actually get a bit fancy here. You can say enter student 1, test 1, student 1, test 2, but I'm not going to take it to that level. I'm just going to say enter test mark. And comma, the third, we're going to leave blank. So I need 2 brackets there, and end, and end. There we are, done. Simple. Should not have had any issues writing an input where we are inputting values. Now you can't test it at this stage. Now I'm going to make a suggestion to you. This loop is going to run 20 times. So each time we run it, we're going to need to input 20 values, which can be time consuming and also frustrating if you are running it many times. So what I'm going to suggest to you, just for testing purposes, is to comment out this line, comment out that line, and let's put a random statement. So when we click when we press the input button, it will just randomly generate numbers, and it's going to save me from having to input numbers 20 times every time I've got a test. I think I've got about 10 different buttons that need to be written. So here, let's just go in your users section. You know that you have to put down math. And then here you're going to say random range. And let's put a range of 10, 101. So that'll take me to 100. So comma, the question wants the input box. So if this came out in a test or an exam, I will still use random range for testing purposes, but at the end, make sure you remove the random range and you remove the comment for the input box. Otherwise, you're giving the examiner reason to penalize you. So I'm just suggesting those of you that are working on computer, if you're working on paper, then it's okay. But if you're working on computer, then put in a random range statement.